Hey guys, today we're building a no-code automation for invoice processing. So what we'll be doing is basically setting up a workflow in which we'll be monitoring our inbox on Gmail, and then we're going to process the incoming invoices using AI, and then we're going to send them into a Google Sheet, right? So I'm going to post this link, this workflow template on the YouTube comments, so you can just download it and go here and then just importing the file, right? So it will be very easy for you to set this up, okay? The first step is basically when we import this file, this template, we're going to have to connect our accounts, right? First, we're going to have to connect our Gmail account. We then have this block here, which basically checks if the subject of the email contains the word invoice. And then we have the LLM, which basically is a prompt in which we ask to return a number of fields, okay, which are basically the amount of the invoice, which is the currency of the invoice, which is, well, you know, all these fields which contain a lot of information. And then when we've processed this, we're going to send this over to Google Sheets, okay? So you feel that this is very complex, but it's easy to set up, and we just need to connect our existing accounts to here to make it work, okay? So first step, we've already done all of this. I've already connected my Google account. I've already connected my API key here on Google Gemini, and then I've added my spreadsheet here on the Google Sheet. So I can just click on execute, and then this will basically pull my last email, pull the attachment on my last email, and process the attachment. In this case, this only processes invoice images, okay? And it basically sends the data of the invoice into this spreadsheet, okay? So you see here that we now have the spreadsheet with the invoice information, okay? So basically what I did is send myself an invoice with an image format so it can process them, and you know, we have extracted all this information from inside the invoice, which is basically the date, the number, what the provider is, and well, a bunch of other fields which can be useful to us, okay? So we could extend this workflow so it works for other use cases, like not only processing images but also PDF attachments, not only processing PDF and images, but also processing the email bodies. We could also build a workflow in which we could upload this into a Google Drive folder and just upload each new invoice attachment into the folder, okay? And this will get complicated as we keep expanding our workflow. Okay, so as an alternative, what we use is GetInvoice. Okay, so GetInvoice does actually do all of this for us. From one side, it monitors our inboxes. Okay, so we can just connect our Google, our Outlook, or any email account using IMAP. Okay, so it's very, very easy to set up, and we don't have to actually use this no-code tool. Okay, which is basically a software in which we just connect our email accounts and it will process them. Then we also have integrations for online portals, which this means that we can also use a Chrome extension which will help us extract invoices from Amazon, from OpenAI, from Google Ads, which is impossible using this no-code tool. Then we also have other accounting integrations which also are not available from this no-code tool, which are basically QuickBooks, Xero, Business Central, and a lot more. And we also have the same integrations here as we've seen Google Sheets, Google Drive, okay, and it's very, very easy to set up. And we also use AI processing to process all these invoices. You don't need to set your API keys. You don't need actually any API. You just connect your emails and invoices are extracted automatically. And also, we don't only process images, we also process PDF attachments. We also process the body of the emails. We also download the invoices that are behind a URL on the email, and well, we don't even need to check for the email subject to contain the word invoice, because we actually check each one of the attachments of the emails for invoices which might not be explicitly labeled as invoice. So it's much more easier to use and it's much more reliable, and we don't have to keep expanding this logic into something that will be enormous. Okay, we just use GetInvoice, and then we also have a feature in which we can upload statements, and it will conciliate the statements with our invoices. Okay, it will match automatically our invoices to our transactions in the statement. Okay, also, apart from having a lot much more features and being a lot easier to set up, it's also a lot cheaper. Okay, if you try using this no-code tool, it will become more expensive as we add new features here, and if we want this workflow to be executing constantly, it will be very, very expensive. For GetInvoice, it just starts at $13 per month, and we can have up to 600 invoices per year. Okay, so this is it, and I encourage you to try GetInvoice, and I will also leave this template on the YouTube comments.